what's up, you guys? It's your commissioner speaking, and we are in double-digit weeks, and it's almost that time, you guys. It's almost time to rumble. Week 10 is in the books. Week 11 is already loading up, and it's exciting because there's a lot of teams tied up in the rankings, except for me. I'm at the bottom, towards the bottom, but I'm not alone this time. Let's get this intro out of the way, you guys, and we'll get right started.
Week 10 recap.
That's right, guys. So week 10, guys, was very exciting. There was definitely a lot of good football, good fantasy week, definitely. A couple different names up there on the top this week. So let's get started right to it. Check out the best quarterback this week. Wow. The GOAT, Mr. Tom Brady himself. He got himself 28 completions, guys, 341 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. So for Tom Brady, that's really good news for him. 58.84. And that is Anthony's quarterback, Mr. the GOAT, Tom Brady. That is good to see, Tom Brady back on the top like that. That's pretty cool. Our best running back, though, had to be against me out of all people, right? This guy, Mr. Ronald Jones. Granted, he did have 23 rushing attempts. That's huge, right? 23 for 192 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. But if you were watching the game that morning, he had like a 95 or something, 90-plus yard touchdown run. And that, of course, gives us a lot of fantasy points in our league. So that's super good for Aaron. 46.3 fantasy points. So, yeah, Ronald Jones is our highest running back this week. Dalvin Cook finally got shut down a little bit. But in garbage time, he actually made a little more points. So he wasn't so far behind. But Dalvin Cook had the back-to-back phenomenal weeks. But Ronald Jones against me. All right, and the wide receiver, this is a guy I wanted to pick up because there's so many injuries and bye weeks and everything going on. So I was a little too close, huh? Too scary. You could see all my pores. My apologies. All right, guys. So I was saying the wide receiver this week I wanted to pick up off the waiver wire. It might have not been on our league, though. It might have been on Michael's league. But Marquez Valdez-Scantling, MVS. He had only 4 receptions, though, for 149 yards and 1 touchdown for 36.9. He's, of course, still a free agent. And, any wide receiver paired up with Aaron Rodgers is always a good possibility. You never know. But he's free, out for grabs, you guys. Speaking of good old timers, check out our tight end this week. Freaking Gronk. We have Tom Brady and Gronk on the top this week. That is freaking, what are we, like 2015 or something, right? So he only had a whopping 2 receptions for 51 yards and 1 touchdown for 14.10. This is letting you know how bad this tight end position is for fantasy. Granted, there's the Travis Kelce's out there, but Gronk took the number 1 spot with 14 points. That's it. So that is Jay's tight end, Mr. Gronk. Hey, can't hate. Still the top. All right, and a very familiar face in the kicker position. Check this guy out. That's right, Mr. Tyler Bass. 3 extra point attempts and 3 field goals, but all 3 were over 50 yards. So that's, of course, extra bonuses for a total of 24 fantasy points. And that is, of course, Terrence's kicker. I believe this is the 3rd time we call his name this season. So I want to say he's also the number 1 kicker in the league, just because he's been so hot. And last but not least, you guys, check out this defense. 2 sacks, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble, and they only allowed 12 points. You know who that is? Any takers? That's right. My Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, made the top defense this week with 37. And of course, since everybody hates my Raiders, myself included, nobody has the Raiders defense in fantasy. So they are a free agent as well. They have Kansas City this coming week, so I don't know about starting them at all. So I don't think I'll be able to recommend unless they somehow shut down the Kansas City crazy offense they got going on. So yeah, so Las Vegas Raiders gets this week's or Week 10's top honors, but I will not recommend it for Week 11 just because of the matchup. All right, you guys. So yeah, and one not fun note, but a note. Mahomes, the great Mahomes, has been dropped out of the top 3 rankings just because he went on a bye. Isn't that crazy? That guy goes away for a week and then he disappears from the top 3. So now the top 3 is Kyler Murray, number 1, Josh Allen, and Russell Wilson have the top 3 quarterbacks in our league. So yeah, let's see what Mahomes gets to do against my Raiders. Let's hope we shut them down and keep them low. All right, guys. And so yeah, the ranking, like I mentioned in the beginning, guys, there's a lot of people tied up. I'm starting to lose hope, you guys. We're on week 11. I only have 3 wins. I mean, we got what? Week 11, 12, 13. We have 3 games left before playoffs start. And yeah, I don't feel confident anymore. But I'm here to crush you guys' souls when it comes to trying to beat you guys and getting that playoff push spoiled by me. Sorry. if it happens, but I always lose anyway, so don't matter. All right, but yeah, we have Aaron regaining the number 1 spot. He went away for a week. He took a break, but he came right back with a vengeance, right? So he's alone one more time at the number 1 position with 7-3, 7 wins, 3 losses. So Aaron, good job, dudes. And we have 4 teams with the 6-4 rank. We also have 3 with 5-5. One of those 5-5s is on the 6th place position, which means that one of those 5-5s right now, if playoffs started this week, they will be in the playoffs, right? But the rest of the 5-5s are technically on the lower bracket, the lower 6, which means if it stays this close, somebody with a losing record could still make it to the playoffs. So don't lose hope, you guys. We have 2 teams of 4-6, and at the bottom we have 2 3-7s, which is myself and Michael. So we're at the bottom. Yeah, not a good year for us. So yeah, the power rank as well. So Aaron has regained that number 1 with 2,098.68. And at the bottom, we still have Charles with 1,590.76. That is a freaking 508 fantasy points difference between the number 1 and the number 12 in the ranking. That is redunculous, guys. Redunculous. So a couple little pointers here, guys. There's 3 people or 3 players I would consider picking up if I need them in the waiver wire this week. So that is Rex Burkhead, who's been having good weeks as of late. He's still a free agent, of course. The guy I mentioned earlier, Marquise Valdez-Scantling, right? So he gets hurt quite often, but he came back and he had granted it was a slow game, but he must have had a big, huge touchdown run or something to make her top, right? But he is available. And also another sleeper out there is Marvin Jones. So he's been feeling pretty well for the injured. I brain farted his name. The injured Lions receiver. Huh? How's that? So yeah, so Marvin Jones, Rex Burkhead, and MVS will be our top hot waiver wire pickups. To me, they could be depending on your needs, right? So if you need a tight end or something, like I'm gonna need a tight end this week. I have two usable. I'm not gonna say good, but 2 usable tight ends in my league and my team. That is Jimmy Graham, and I have Jordan Reed. But they're both on a bye on week 11, so I have 2 tight ends on my roster, and neither one I could use, and I have to pick up either a third or have to drop one of those. We'll see what happens there. Okay, you guys, so let's get ready to introduce you guys our MVT of the week, which obviously you should already know because it's been hot. It's been hot every freaking week. So here it is. That's right. Mr. Aaron scored a whopping 236.68 points. Of course, he's our number 1 in the rank. He's a number 1 in the power ranking. And he's, of course, our MVP this week. So keep it up, Aaron. You're looking very promising this year. So keep it up. All right, good job to you. And time for the one and only Donkey Award for the week. This is the second time this happens this season. This is someone that went from an MVT to a donkey back to back, right? So the first one we had was Terrence. He was MVT and followed with a donkey performance. This week, Gabe, he got a whopping 120.62, and he was our number one player on everything last week, and he just had the bad luck. Now he's the donkey. So Gabriel, sir, here's the donkey of the award this week. That donkey gave the donkey, so you're not the only one. So I'm kind of glad to see different faces in the donkey award, so I don't feel too left out. But so that just tells you, like fantasy is very unpredictable. You could be the number one week, and you could be at the bottom the next. So just remember, guys, there's still chances for everybody to move up. I mean, we at the bottom, it's probably a little harder for that to happen, but having a potential chance of having a losing record and still making playoffs, hey, you never know. But yeah, you guys, so that covers all of my primary, all my players, all my rankings, my MVT, my Donkey Award this week. And don't forget the waiver wires, right? Remember, handcuffs are very, very important. Don't forget your handcuffs, especially going into the playoffs. You never know, COVID, injuries or whatever. If you have a big player, try to have the handcuff, especially for running backs, right? Because right away a lot of the running backs come right in and fill that position very quickly. And so yeah, that's why I took advantage of that Latavius Murray that got dropped by Gabriel. I might not be able to use him straight up, but Kamara's backup, I'll take it. He's one of the best running backs out there, so it's good to have handcuffs. Okay, you guys, so that concludes my video this week. I wanna give a shout out to my new shirt. Some of you guys are old enough to know this. What is this? Huh? I just got that in the mail yesterday, so wanted to show it out. The whole reason I wore it today. I'm not even gonna go out because it's pouring rain outside right now and nobody gets to see my shirt. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wear it on my video. So here we go. Do it again. Do it again. If you know the name of this character, just leave it in the comments. I want to see if you guys are paying attention. Alright, guys, so I'm done. Thank you, guys. I will see you guys here for week 11 recap. Okay, have a great day. And oh yeah, now that the tiers in this COVID restriction going back to purple, it's so bad, right? So stay safe, you guys. Be good and keep yourselves happy and occupied. Alright, peace out.